Hey guys, SickMotion here with the patch 5.18 notes, opinions, and review. This is also noted to be the patch that Worlds will be played on, so most of it assumedly is competitively focused since Worlds is kind of a big deal. But let's go through it here. Anivia's E, the Frosted bonus now works on Baron and Dragon. Since Baron and Dragon can't be like frosted slowed type thing, Anivia wasn't able to get the bonus on her E, which makes her E do double damage, but now they can be, I guess. So your E is more effective because in the past Anivia was pretty poor at doing those buffs. Her strength in doing them was more in zoning the enemy team from doing it. Um, let's see. Brom's been seeing a little bit more play as well. So his Q cost has gone back up now that everyone remembered he's a champion. Don't play him anymore. He got nerfed 10 mana. So everyone's going to stop playing him again probably until they take it down again. I don't know why they don't just make it by 5. Then everyone will be like, oh, that's reasonable. That's happy. We can still play him, but not every game. Caitlyn's W, 4 seconds less at level 1, and then 1 second off-ish per level, back to 8 seconds at level 5. So it's normal at that level, but it's 4 seconds off, and it's 30 mana, so you don't feel like you're wasting mana dropping those. One thing to note, the Caitlyn doesn't say they're fixing it here, so I'm assuming they didn't fix it. The bug where her auto attacks do damage before the projectile has traveled through the air. They fixed that a while ago, and now it's kind of back in the game, and it's super annoying. So keep that in mind. Darius got rebalanced here. Heal per champion hit is now 12% instead of 15% of his missing health. However, the maximum heal is 36% of your missing health rather than 30. So we got nerfed for 1v1s, buffed for team fights, and overall the mana cost was nerfed because now it actually has a scaling mana cost rather than 30 at all ranks, because you'd very rarely ever see a Darius go Spider form Elise Spiderling damage is far less as the game progresses. They're doing quite a lot of damage, but I mean, she's still really, really strong early, so. E now scales with AD, the world is ending. Now additionally scales with 0.5 bonus attack damage, so if you're Martyr Ezreal, you can E in for extra damage now. Fantastic. Fiora got some tuning down just in her base stats. 3 less base armor, health growth stat off 7, and base health is 20 less. So she a little bit weaker there. This, however, is kind of a nice thing. Lunge now reveals Fiora's targets if she hits them while in the fog of war. So if they're hiding in a bush and you dash at the bush and you poke and you get the cooldown off, now you'll also be able to see your opponent, so you don't have to wonder what to do next as much. Riposte now parries Thresh's death sentence. I guess it didn't, and now tooltip has been updated to show that it blocks debuffs as well. Galio, a little bit of a quality of life, cannot be cancelled by movement commands for the first quarter second after quarter second of duration if it strikes at least one champion. So if you hit someone with the ult, you probably don't want to cancel it right away. Quality of life buff there for people who can't stop clicking. That's nice. Garen no longer causes his killer to gain the villainy, and fixed a bug where killing a clone of Garen's allies caused the killer to gain villainy. So I guess if you killed like a Yorick ult or something, that person, you would gain villainy if Garen was on the enemy team. So that's kind of weird interaction. Gangplank, another nerf here. 20 damage off on the bonus damage to champions on the powder keg. Kind of sucks, but the big thing is another 10%. They took 10% off last patch. Now it's another 10%. So now it's only 40% armor pen, down from 50, and then previously 60. So I still think he's strong, but that's definitely a little weaker. Keeping in mind that that's going to make him harder to deal with tankier champions. He's still without any armor pen on this barrel with what he builds, the Trinity Force IE type thing, is going to blow up squishies. So he's still going to feel like he's doing that ton of damage if he's hitting the right targets. He's going to have a harder time dealing with people in his face, and building armor is going to be feeling more rewarding against Gangplank. Base armor on Jarvan up by 2. End of story. Pix now triggers Tribute from Spell Thief item line once per Lulu basic attack. Pix can now double apply Spell Thief's go passive. Oh, I guess. I don't even know. I'm too tired to think about that one right now. Mord here. Some nerfs on him and some quality of life buffs and just buffs in general. So with his W being only castable on an ally, you kind of felt forced to take him into a dual lane bot, and that was kind of enforcing the meta, so they finally made it so that you can actually cast it on yourself by yourself, which is nice. Armor growth stat is up, however base armor is down, so he has to scale to be as tanky as he was before. The damage no longer doubles when the zone overlaps. However, it has a higher AP ratio. Its detonation damage is higher. Healing against minions is less. So it does a little bit more damage if you were to just hit it by yourself, but it doesn't do the overlap thing anymore, so you're missing out on damage, but you can cast it on yourself, which is helpful. It also now has a health cost, which is very notable. It used to be no health cost, and now it's 25 and goes up by 10 per level. So interesting changes to an interesting champion. Morgana's Dark Binding, mana cost has gone down because no one really plays her anymore. She was at one point pretty much picked as a support by either team almost every game. Got that nerf. Other meta stuff changed. Now that she's not played much anymore, they're able to take that down. Skarner's slow on his E, greatly reduced, 15%. It's quite a lot. And they fixed the bug where he was scaling too quickly with his Crystal Charge attack speed. So a little bit more Skarner nerfs. Correctly knocks back spheres when cast immediately after a max range Dark Sphere on Syndra. Syndra was prior to Azir. Azir's kind of like, I'm surprised that there's no, we fixed 80 bugs with Azir in this patch. She was kind of the prior to Azir champion that had the most bug issues, and it looks like she still has some. So they're fixing that a little bit. Smoothed out the interaction between Tongue Lash and Devour, so it'll be easy to devour something from range using your Q on Tom. And Thick Skin now apparently is easier to see for colorblind players. A little bit of another Twitch buff. Stealth delay while taking damage is now only 4.5 seconds instead of 6. Slightly safer. I mean, if you're taking damage for 6 seconds on an AD carry and you're not dead, either they're really far behind or you're building all tank. So I think they felt pretty safe doing that, and it is a quality of life buff. Grants AP on champion kill. Champion assist in addition to kills, so you don't have to feel like you got shafted when someone takes your kill when you're playing Veigar. And the W, front-loaded Dark Matter's effects at the beginning of the cast animation instead of the end, delay on cooldown effectively reduced by quarter second. So a little bit of a buff to Veigar there. So Zyra's AI on her plants has always been kind of bleh, so they kind of cleaned it up a little, which is going to feel like a direct buff. Plants will reprioritize attack targets when their primary target is obscured by Fog of War, rather than just not attacking anymore. Hopefully they do this change to Yorick's ghouls, because a lot of the times those ghouls will derp out pretty hard. Plants now prioritize the target Zyra has most recently attacked rather than the closest target she has attacked in the past 4 seconds. Champions recently attacked will still be prioritized over minions. So a little bit better way to control and predict how the AI on the plants are going to work. So that's going to be really nice for Zyra. Devour, 33% nerf on the bonus magic damage per stack, and the flat magic damage when it's sated is now 50 instead of 60 from that. Warrior got a straight buff, just 5 AD. That's actually pretty big for Warrior champions. When you think about 5 AD in your runes, makes quite a bit of a difference, and the trade-off, like what you can get for losing that 5 AD is like 10% attack speed type thing. 5 AD just for free for that item, if you're building it anyway, is going to feel like a pretty big buff. And honestly, all of the enchantments on the jungle items kind of feel like they're all in line. Cinderhulk's very good for tanky champions. Warrior is going to be really good for those fighters and feel a bit better to build. Devoured got toned down a bit because it was really strong, and then Runeglaive is really strong as well. So they all kind of feel like they're working as intended, which is weird. Zeke's got 5 armor off of it, and the charge up duration. As far as I understand, this is the time that you have before once you're ready to go kind of crazy before you actually go crazy is 3 seconds shorter. Don't 100% quote me on that because I haven't used this item that much because I don't play that much support. So it still lasts for as long, but you're going to actually have to act on the time that it's going to be going active. You have far less of a grace window, kind of like how they nerfed the duration that a passive stack of Rise's passive is, and you have less time to decide when you want to go in, and more time you have to like kind of force it. That's kind of what that's going to feel like if it is how I'm thinking about it. Dead Man's Plate, because being turned into a squirrel would probably make you lose a bit of momentum. Lulu's polymorph now causes a target to lose momentum. So pretty specific right there. Disappearing missile fixes. Long wall of text here. Fixed a rare interaction that could cause in-flight missiles to visually disappear while still being hit by enemies. This change fixes cases of disappearing Nidalee Spears that fall under this bug, but there is still the Nidalee Spears that are just invisible the whole time. So I guess they still don't know what's causing that, which is annoying. What's this? Total recall. Recalling will play your skin's recall animation and visual audio effects if your skin has one. Recalls blue laser runes will not play and you won't have to cast your channel bar. Damage still interrupts the animation. Not exactly sure how that'll play out, but it seems like some pretty good BM, so that's good. Little bit more stuff with the HUD, which is nice. Summoner names will now be displayed on the scoreboard. That's one of the things I complained about a lot. And now they're back. You could still see the summoner names on the scoreboard, but you had to mouse over the champion portrait, which seemed a little bit unnecessary. So I'm glad they kind of toned that up. The system can now detect intentionally feeding. Reform cards are accessible in client. Chat and ranked restrictions have been added to the punishments the system can assign. Okay. I don't know how, like, I don't think the system works that well. That's just kind of my personal opinion. But I guess they're still trying to work on it, so that's nice. Some other bug fixes here. Oh, look, there's an Azir bug. All right, nice. He made it into the patch notes. And the new skin, Championship Callista. I expected Callista to get one of the skins this year, either Championship or Victorious, because she was very, and still is very influential in ranked play. Even though she's a rather recent champion, she's a very popular pick, and has been a very popular pick, and has been nerfed many times because of that. So I was not surprised on that. Anyway, guys, that's the patch that Worlds will be played on. So those are my thoughts and opinions on it. Thank you very much for watching. Hit the like button if you did like the video. If you were new to checking out the YouTube channel and you found this helpful, you can go check out the other videos. Press the subscribe button. I do one of these for every patch. And other than that, my social media links and my stream link are underneath this video in the description if you want to check those out and have not already. And thank you very much for watching. Take it easy and hopefully see you next time.